So I love that you work in layers. We were talking about this over the phone last time.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got different layers from, alleviating the symptoms, which I like that you start there, because if somebody's uncomfortable, they just, you can talk to them about philosophy and all this kind of stuff. But if they're in pain, they just want the pain to stop. So alleviating the symptoms, balancing, and then building resilience. So take us through this process.
Right. So, these are like roughly 3 phases that are actually not discrete. So they may actually overlap with each other. I actually try to always overlap anyways. But you're right. Like, if someone can't sleep, they can't heal.
Yeah.
Also, the second reason why it's good to start there when you can is that it encourages people to go on. It gives them the energy, because to come to full healing, depending on how complex the situation is, people need to be encouraged. They need to feel empowered, and they need to have the energy to see it through. Because most people who come to see me come to see me last.
Yeah.
They've tried everything else, and now they come to see an herbalist. And so there are usually a lot of chronic things that I see. So it's good to get that enthusiasm, that energy, have a win up front. That's not always possible, because especially with chronic things, there are so many layers that need to be helped sometimes before they can feel better. So that's where our goal is. And then second would be, so you've got let's try and help you feel good on the more superficial level. Then we go a little bit deeper, and now we're working at, like you said, balancing, building more resilience. That pendulum swing I was talking about, we're trying to get that pendulum to now come more into the center. And then finally, now we're kind of more centered and running well, but the idea is not to continue taking medicine forever, to stay there. It's about, lifestyle and food. So finally, in the final so-called phase would be now rebuilding. So I'm going to give an example. I think that might be easier. So let's say someone has had chronic sleep issues. So the first phase, or whatever, the first layer is like I said, get these people to sleep right now, right? Because this will be a little bit more sedating kind of herbs. You'd probably only use them at night. So then, if this person's had a chronic sleep problem, we need to look at why are they not sleeping. So we would be looking at sleep hygiene. We would be looking at what's waking you up. Are you drinking a lot of coffee? Are you drinking too much water and getting up to pee? But mostly what I begin to look at pretty quickly is looking at some of the we call adaptogens. So they're like endocrine tonics. So resetting the circadian rhythm. And I find, one of my favorite herbs for this is ashwagandha, and it really helps people, especially people who don't have a hard time falling asleep, but they have a hard time staying asleep. So then we do that, so that may take months. You'd probably start feeling better already within weeks, and you're able to sleep, but you need to continue that until we're actually getting to that pendulum in the center. And then, this would, like I said, these might be happening kind of at the same time as well, but I try not to do too many things at once with people. In the later stages, we'll probably be continuing the balancing, and we'll start adding more things to actually nourish the body and rebuild in case if it is an organ or a system. Or actually, that's more through nutrition. So we would be looking now at some of the metal and things like that they can use as a daily infusion. So that would be also including the right nutrients in the diet, and continuing with good sleep hygiene. So that the whole point of getting to that final layer is that this is now where they can hopefully continue on their own, with maybe once in a while a check-in with some extra help.
And they already know about the ashwagandha. So if they needed to go back, they already know what it is and where to find it.
And in the meantime, through that whole process, they've also learned in those steps. Okay, in the beginning, give you something to sleep more easily. There's not as much expected of you, but at each level comes along, you're doing more and more. Like, okay, did you go for your walk? Did you get some time in nature? Did you do this with your diet? Right. So I try to make that gentle, because Some people just give me the list, I'll do it all at once.
Yeah.
That happens once in a while. But most of us, including me, we need to incorporate one new thing at a time. So that's kind of why it's a journey.